何も怖がらずに信じるようにいつまでも思い出してる君の言葉かき混ぜるほどに薄まって消えてしまうよ確かめるように夢中になって裸足のまま
Hello, chat. Hello, 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 hello. I have no clue what's playing right now. All right, so I'll be honest, chat. We're here. Oh, we came a long way from Kingdom. You're right, guys. We came from Peak. We came for so much, chat. Peakdom. Everyone, chat. If you haven't, watch Kingdom. We love Kingdom. Hello, chat. And welcome to the first ever on-time Hint Trap stream. Excuse me. I went to go get food. I'll be honest. What's it called? I forgot that I was not at my calories for the day. If you see me earlier, this is not on time. This is very much so on time. Oh my god, everyone's here. Yeah, this is very much so on time. What the hell? Why is it low? Okay, there we go. We've got peak going on. All right, hello chat. Welcome. On time is 6 p.m. How dare? On time is 6 p.m. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Hello chat. Tonight we are playing the greatest game, or so I've heard, ever. We are playing Ghost of Tsushima. Now, as the avid Japanese man like I am, it is time to go on ahead and enjoy what Peak really is. Alright, no more Halo, none of that garbage over at Sony, none of that God of War mid, you know, we have Peak, okay? And chat, we're black, you're right. We're right. On time means nothing for us. Right, chat? Right, guys? Let's all say it together. We are black, so being on time means nothing, right, chat? We're gonna go on ahead, and we are for sure going to start now. Now, I will be very honest with you, chat. Every time I've had this open up, it has, for some odd reason, has crashed. I don't know what's going on. I've got what's it called? No, that's facts. He caught us. Yeah. See, I have no clue if it is going to crash or not. I'm going to hope it's not, because I've been excited to play this all week. Yesterday was very much so we got to play a chill game. It was Honkai and chill. Honkai the Star Rail. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see, I am repping Korea, representing Korea. Kansamida. Chat, you know, they're gonna, man, chat, this is, you know what, this is gonna be so much fun. You know, maybe I should start streaming at 6 again. Maybe I should just start doing that. All right, chat. So now, all right, guys, it's loading. Peak is loading. Are we ready? Chat, are we ready? I don't think you're ready. I don't think we're ready. Chat, are you ready? Oh. You're playing Persona 3 Reload right now? Right now? When you could be watching your favorite streamer playing the greatest game of all time called Ghost of Tsushima? Uncle's finally playing Peak. I was playing Peak 2 games ago. Remember when you said Ooh and the Maid outfit was crazy? Yeah, that's true. You just said Sony is trash. Yes, of course it is. Well, you know, I can't say that. Stellar Blade. No! The frauds made Stellar Blade. No! Sony, how could you? No! Yeah, I made a new game. What were we talking about? Okay. Chat, I'm ready. Alright, let's see how this goes. Alright, chat. Let's count out the new... Hold on, there's something I do have to check. Hold on. Stellar Blade is ass. Literally, Stellar Blade is my favorite game of 2025 that I've played. And it's right up there with Final Fantasy, with Tactics. But, yeah, no, Stellar Blade is such a fun game. I can't wait for the second one, chat. I know you guys are ready. Alright, so what do we have here? We have... Because it's ass, literally, yeah. Okay. So we have easy, medium, hard, and lethal. Play on lethal? Okay. So lethal is what it is? Alright. Ooh, okay, we have standard, subtitled, English dialogue. We're not doing that. Not with English subtitles, no. Japanese dialogue with English subtitles? Are Kurosawa? Do you know who this is, chat? Wait, do you guys know who Kurosawa is, chat? Oh my god, he used to make in the... Okay, now, I could be wrong when I say this, alright. English, please, bro? What are you talking about? I'm tired... Bro, they speak... What are we talking? Play Kurosawa mode on your second, you'll enjoy it? Okay, that is crazy. Alright, you know what, chat? We have to play it in Samurai Cinema, chat. I'm sorry. English, please. Look, I would. If I didn't know what I was getting myself into. It's a Japanese game. We have to play the samurai way, chat. I'm sorry. Guys. Tsushima, Japan. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's like I'm watching a movie. Ooh, guys, grab your popcorn, grab your snacks. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold the phone. Okay, we're good. I'm trying to listen while playing Persona. You can. Hold on. Uh-oh. Chat, I don't know why, but it's not letting me, Will you let me? Are you gonna let me? Or that's because I'm not gonna turn this off. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Then I'm just gonna have to do this one then. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, sorry, chat. No, my mic was acting up. Relentlessly. Unstoppable. I don't understand this language. I can switch it in a second. I just want to see the opening scene. Now, chat. I've never. We are 80 Samurai. Now, mind you, chat. I've never seen this gameplay for this game before. I know nothing about the game. Tens of thousands of them will face death and defend our home. Tradition, courage, honor, yes. Yes, we are. We are samurai. I think that was the word's voice. Oh my god. Okay, I'm ready. Oh my god. I'm sorry. What in the world? We're not fighting that, are we, chat? Because if we are, we're cooked. Like, I just want that to be known. Like, there's no way we're fighting that. Okay, it still looks good. Okay. I really hope you end up finishing this game. I probably will. Is this how to spend a Friday? Is today's Friday? Chat, you're kidding me. It's not Friday, right? Oh my god, it is Friday. What in the world? Oh my god, it's Friday. I didn't even know that. Holy hell. Adachi Yoshinobu. The hell? Are you serious? We're burning people? What in the Song Dynasty is this? Yep. Lord Shiva. Am I playing? We're starting off like this? Oh my god. Oh. Ride, my brothers. We shall. Oh wow. Dude, yeah, I'm cooked. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Everyone's dying in one hit. Oh! Lord Shimura! Oh! Oh my god! What could be— my horse! My horse! My horse is dead. Where's Lord Shimura? Ooh! Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm Jin! Yes, Lord Shimura. I'm here with you. Oh my gosh. As you command, Lord Shimura. Oh my gosh. Bro. The Mongol? Oh, wait, no. Wrong time period. I was gonna say, oh wait, is this like the invasion of Tsushima? Oh, no. Oh, wait, am I playing? Oh, oh my god. Oh, it's so smooth. It's butter. All right, come on. Oh, it is back. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's just not— is that dude not one of us? Oh, it's the guys that are not wearing the helmets. Okay. I got it now. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, buddy, get out of here. The Mongol reinforcements, yes. For honor! Oh, yeah, he's dead. Now you know he's gone. Oh, Bing Bong. Oh my god! Jin, the master of all swordsmen. Oh my god! Oh, he's got a short— Oh, that was sex. Okay, that was pretty. Whoa, hey man. Hey man. I gotta fight for my home, alright? Look here. Alright, Thorfinn, goodbye. Oh my gosh. Woo-wee. Okay. Alright, Chad, I think I'm pretty good at the game. It's just the two of us? Are you serious? All of our other— they're dead? The rest of our army is dead? Uncle, you guys related? Oh my god. What do you mean you guys are gonna end this together? Come on. Dude, there's no one else but the two of us? And this guy has one— oh my god. Jin just got absolutely blown back. What the hell? I can't believe he burned that guy alive. What the hell? Dude, we lost. There was 80 of us, and how many of them? 15,000? No! Lord Shinra, no! Uncle, please. Oh, there is an entire arrow in my back. Oh my god. They're giving him back shots. What's happening? Jin, come on, get up, man. Fight, man, come on, with honor. If we die here, we're gonna die with honor. Oh my god, no. So my uncle's dead, my army is washed, and I've gotten backshotted in the first 10 minutes of this game. What is happening? I will say, Jin did have a pretty sword, man. Koton, cousin of Kubai, grandson of the Ginshin. Oh! Is this a Kingdom reference? Let me stop. Is this an Oki? Let me stop. You've been trained your whole life? If you won battles? Uh-huh. Genghis Khan? No, I do not look like Genghis Khan. Please out. Your traditions, your
どの
beliefs,
村を飼いならし
which villages to tame,
焼き払うか
which to burn. Oh my
今
gosh.
一度己に問う侍よ我に下るか
Mmm. Come on. Lord Shinra, you know what you have to do. With honor. Oh yeah, I can't beat that one. That one's beautiful. No! Lord Shinra, please! My uncle is dead? No way! Oh my god? There's no... Jin's alive? How? He has 2 arrows in the back of his back. How is he alive? Oh my god. And where they... Oh, you know what? None of them did pierce his, like, his abdomen or the back or, like, his lungs at all? Okay. Ooh. Oh, okay. Okay. That's how you start off a game. What the hell? We were in Tsushima, Japan. I'm gonna guess for, like... Wait, Genghis Kong? We're in, like, 900 AR place. It's like, yeah, we're in the 900s. What the hell? Genghis Khan's, what the fuck? Dude. And if it's the mongrels? Hold on. And so in China, it should be Song Dynasty. Oh, that guy is Genghis Khan's grandchild? Oh, okay. Hold on. So then, yeah. There's like 1100. Okay, so I'm off by like 2. Okay. Oh my god. Jin, what are we gonna do?
にしてここへ
I don't know, man.
具はない食料のみ
I was like, Genghis Khan. I'm like, brother, we're like,
誰かが俺を見てくれた
worked hard to keep me alive.
離れねば
Need to keep moving. All right, let's do it, dude. Oh my god, not Japan.
もう子供
I highly recommend switching to English. The mongrel. Okay, hold on. Japanese actually sounds ass. That's insane. That means that the audio must sound so good, chat. Tsushima Island is okay. Let's hear it.
How did I get here?
Oh my god.
Someone worked hard to keep me alive.
Oh, what the fuck? Alex Lee. Let me stop. I'm sorry.
No weapons, just supplies.
Oh my
Need to
god.
keep moving.
That first opening scene sounds so good. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I can squeeze through
Someone
walls?
saved me.
Yes, okay.
Back here.
Where's...
They have my sword.
Wait, we're going back for your katana, Jin? Do not raise alarm. You know what? I was born off a stealth game, so it's fine. You know, I used to play all the Hitman Hitman Reborn games. I even played Rhythm Heaven, so I'm pretty good at the stealth. You know, the dun 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 dun. Okay. Oh, it is dark. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look at my other monitor because this is too dark for me.
Someone was sharpening their blade. A warrior.
Oh, okay. The warrior, yes.
My armor.
Oh my gosh. I don't think collecting. Oh damn.
Better than nothing.
I don't know about that one, Jen. This could go one way, and I don't think you're gonna like it either way. Okay, well at least we have our armor back. As people would say, I think he's got his swagger back. Felt like such like a king batch thing said. Okay, leave the house to continue your search. Do I leave from the way that I came, or do I leave out the... Oh, okay, other way. Okay. Oh my god! We're just murdering innocents like this? Who is that?
How are your wounds? Can you run?
I think so. Where's my sword?
Not here.
You're on here.
I'll take care of this. Please, hide.
Damn.
Oh, don't hurt me.
Shield Lumini.
Shield Rice? Oh my gosh. Jen, what exactly are you going to do, man? Oh. 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 Oh, good heavens. She assassinated him. This is not the honor that I signed up for.
Yuna.
Yuna. Can I get to you know your name?
You want your sword? Follow me.
Sorry, go ahead and unfollow me on chat.
Long enough for the Mongols to conquer half the island.
What? Half the island?
Shh, not now. Shit, get down.
Ooh, ay. Okay. I'm sorry, Yuna.
Let's move.
This way. Wait. There's nothing we can do for her.
But I can save the others.
Oh. Yuna, where are you? I'm blind as hell. Yuna, where'd you go? Yuna!
Lord Shimura was with me on the battlefield.
Jito, forget him.
Why? That's my uncle. I can't forget him. He's family.
Wait,
Oh my gosh.
Lord Shimura is my uncle.
You're family with that man?
You're Jin Sakai, the Jito's nephew?
I have to know. Did he survive?
I think so. The Mongols took him prisoner
Oh, what?
Where did they take him?
They didn't kill my uncle?
along the coast.
Ah,
That's Castle Kaneda. They must be holding him inside, celebrating their victory. I could take them by surprise.
You'll be killed.
that is true. We
Or
will.
I'll rescue Lord Shimura. Then help him drive the Mongols into the sea. He can contact the Shogun, call for reinforcements.
I
That's
didn't
just not
nurse
happening.
you back to health to watch you throw your life away.
You're right,
When
Yuna.
did you save me?
I couldn't leave you to die. I need your help.
Oh?
Shimura can help our whole island. And he's the only family I have left.
Damn.
Let's move.
Dang. Okay, how are we gonna say you let's move, and then you're the first one that like.
Under here.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check my other monitor because my other one's just really dark. Oh,
Bridges.
Come on. We can't help him now.
that's unfortunate. Where are we going, Yuna? Yuna!
Look out.
Where do you have me going?
Armed.
Where does Yuna have me going? Oh, Yuna!
Through here.
I guess it what? Yuna. Oh, hey! Okay, we weren't seen. I was scared for a second. Dude, I just want my sword. As soon as I'm going to say, it is for honor. As Lord Shimura's nephew, I shall kill you all in the name of the shogunate for Tsushima. Whoa. Okay, where? Okay. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? See, you know.
If we cross, someone's bound to see us.
I'll take that chance.
Wait. The cart.
Are we gonna hitch a ride in the cart? How do you? Yuna, where are you going? Yuna, are you serious? That guy should totally have seen us. I don't know why he didn't see us, but you know I'm grateful for it.
More gods.
We'll take the rooftops.
What?
Up here.
I can. Okay. Oh,
Climb roofs, scavenge battlefields. You're a thief.
When I need something, I take it.
Like my katana.
I traded it for food and medicine.
wow.
Don't worry. We'll find the buyer. Get your sword back.
My only sword? That's the only family I have left. I don't even know where my uncle is, and you sold it, Yuna? You
Look at the
thief!
supplies you can carry,
This is someone's house.
and they're not coming back.
Oh my god. You know what? No, Yuna has to go. I'm sorry. You can't just sit here tell me, oh yes, this is what we're gonna have to do. You took my sword, woman! This is 11. If this is the time period I'm thinking of, we all should. Okay, well, you know what? I guess this is in fact again. Ooh, the music is. Oh my goodness, the music
Man,
is.
I traded your sword to lives just up ahead.
And he's probably dead. Thank you, Yuna.
Toro! Shit. Bastards found him.
Stand watch. I'll search the house. He will answer for this.
Maybe they hid your katana inside.
Do I just come in from the front door? No?
It must be here.
My sword, my sword. Where the heck is my sword? Can we find my sword, please? Oh, thank God. Yes. Beauty. Strength. Resilience. Beauty as one with the katana. What?
Nephew to the great Lord Shimura,
What's happening?
and I am no coward!
Your enemy is no match for you,
Oh my God.
But
you still lack control.
I
Uncle,
was
teach me.
practicing.
With your father's weapon, the sword of Clan Sakai
The Clan Sakai.
has saved lives
Mm.
and
No, no.
ended wars.
Mm.
Who did this to you?
No one.
I will teach you to defend yourself.
I know how to fight.
To master your blade, you must first control your emotions.
Okay. I think that makes sense.
I can do that, Uncle.
Show me.
Chad, how's the volume? Is the volume good? Hopefully the volume's good. You know, I'm actually invested. Oh my gosh. Is this with a wooden? Yes.
Let's see what you've
What
been
the-
practicing. Try to strike me.
Yes, Uncle.
Oh, now I get to learn the game? There's a stab attack version?
Attack! I am ready.
Oh. Mm. Don't beat me too bad, Uncle.
If you'd fought like that, your attacker would not have bruised you so easily.
Oh.
Fair fight.
Imagine he's returned to finish what he started. And he'll use every dirty trick he knows.
That is true.
How will you defend yourself?
I'll kick dirt in his eyes, then break his nose. See how big he feels with a mouthful of blood.
A small victory achieved without honor. When a samurai faces a devious foe, he must rise above them and never sink to their level. No
That is
matter
true.
How tempting.
Yes, Uncle.
Now, break through my defenses.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Show
I'm
me
eating my
Jin
grapes.
Sakai is a warrior of great courage.
I am, Uncle. Yes. Mm. Oh. Uncle, I'm a good man. Oh, there we go. Yes. Okay.
I yield.
You let me win.
Not at all. If you held a real sword, I would be dead.
Really?
I would never lie to you, Jin. Now for a change, try to block my attacks.
Okay.
I will not go easy on you.
Oh my
Hold
God.
your blocking form. A fine block. Good form.
There we go. Okay.
I'm sore. Can we take a break?
We're not finished yet. Find your resolve and fight through the pain. Good.
Oh. This is your health? This is your resolve meter. Draw on your resolve to heal and perform other special. What? Gain resolve by killing enemies, parrying attacks, and using other advanced skills? Oh no.
It's time you learn to parry. Wait for me to make the first move.
What?
Once I strike, block my attack.
Oh.
You must parry
Whoa.
before I strike. A fine
Oh.
parry.
Oh. Oh my days. Okay, that's okay. Thank God I'm not playing Elden Ring. Whoo, I was scared.
You're improving.
Need to catch your breath?
Why did the
It'll
Okay.
take more than a child to knock the wind out of Now then, let's see you defend against a spear.
A what?
Dodge my spear.
What?
And follow up with a counterattack. Good
Uncle.
reflexes. I am vulnerable after attacking. Excellent counter.
Well, this was Shin versus Jin. I don't think he. I think
Dodge.
my
then
glorious
counter.
king. Okay, all right, hold on. Yes, uncle. Oh,
You have a small opportunity to strike. Use it.
I wanted to hit him one more
You
time
see,
in the back
there
of the
is
head.
no weapon, no warrior you cannot overcome.
Thank
Yes,
you for
Uncle.
these lessons, Uncle.
We are not finished yet.
What?
Jin Sakai, will you honor me with a sparring match?
I wouldn't want to hurt you.
If you're that confident, let's make this interesting. The first to land 5 strikes gets to choose dinner.
Oh,
I hope you like octopus.
octopus. Jin understands. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Very good, Jin.
What?
Fast.
You show great skill.
Come on. Yes. There we go, chat.
Before we eat, I have one last question.
Yes,
For
uncle.
generations, our families have lived by a code.
Yes, uncle.
Tell me the virtues that guide us.
Loyalty to our Lord. Control over our emotions.
You know this.
Honor. To fight bravely and uphold the legacy of Clan Sakai.
Those are your father's words. What does honor mean to you?
I guess... protecting people. The ones who can't fight for themselves.
That is good honor.
You have a good heart. But first, we must show everyone that we serve our Lord with courage, integrity, and self-control.
That is very
You say
true.
that like it's easy.
It's never easy, Jin. I struggle with it every day.
Are they? Hold on. His writing's fire.
But for our people, by remaining true to our code and to ourselves. That is the meaning of honor.
Chat. Why did no one tell me this game is good? What? Ghost of Tsushima is good?
Samurai.
Oh. Ooh. Oh. Chat. I'm sorry. I had the cream. I had the cream. No, that was just beautiful. Oh my gosh. Jin Sakai. He's so cool. Oh, yep. I can't see. He's too fucking. It's too dark. I killed him in one hit.
You found your sword.
Where can I find a horse?
The stable's aren't far. This way.
So lethal really is lethal. So like I can kill people with one swipe. This is quite realistic. What the hell? Is that the Mongols? Where's Ki-
Islands crawling with them.
Where are the stables?
Behind that burning farmhouse. Follow me.
The bomb house? Okay. So we do not attack. I mean, I personally would for the sake of it, but if you don't want to, I understand, you know.
We can get close. Slit their throats and kill them without a
Oh my god.
Without honor, I will not break my code.
Face me, invader!
All right, point L to this oh. 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 Oh yes.
It's close.
We can't save everyone.
I'm done running, and I can finally help.
Damn it. More guards.
Don't let anyone escape.
Oh. Oh. I will not let anybody else die. Okay. Who is this?
You, my lord.
Oh.
They said all the samurai were dead.
Keiji.
Do you have somewhere to hide?
I heard Golden Temple might be safe.
Golden Temple.
Go. Stay off the roads. And guard your son with your life.
Mm,
You risked your life for them.
of course.
They couldn't defend themselves. And I can't let more of our people die.
They're not the only ones who need you. My brother. The Mongols took him.
Okay, so
That's
wait.
why you saved me.
Taka is my only family.
And Lord Shimura is mine.
Please. I just want my brother back.
I want my uncle back.
I'll help you find him after I save my uncle.
Yeah. Come on
I
now.
promise.
It's not that your
I'm coming
family.
with you.
What? You know, what are you exactly you're gonna do?
Stables are just up ahead.
Well, I know what time it is. Yep. Oh! Did I just get one tapped? What? Check. Ooh.
Let's get to the horses.
Ooh. Ooh. You know, I want to choose a one. Can I choose one? I can't choose one? You know, are you serious?
Samurai horses. The few we didn't take into battle.
Lucky for them. And us. Which horse do you want?
I get to choose? Digital Deluxe? Wait, that horse right there is a Digital Deluxe. I wanted the white one, but I guess I might as well get the Digital Deluxe horse. Yeah, I might as well get the Digital Deluxe horse.
He suits
Yeah.
you.
And he needs a name.
Ooh, Nobu.
Nobu, trusty
Oh.
companion.
I like Nobu. No more Sora and no more Kage. Nobu. A strong son of mine, yes. Kamado, what town? Okay. Recover the katana of the Sake family, yes. Ooh-wee. Oh my god. Where are we going? Castle Kende. Okay. Why are we here? Kaneda. I don't know why I said Kende like that.
They're holding
Kaneda.
your uncle inside.
What?
The walls are too high to climb. We could cause a distraction. Sneak in.
No. We walk in the front gate.
What?
Kukulkan set fire to our best swordsman. Humiliated my uncle. Butchered the warriors of Tsushima. I'm going to repay his kindness.
By repeating the same mistakes that got your friends killed.
Oh my
That's what the
god.
Mongols will think. But this time, I'll strike first.
Yes. True.
Wait here until I finish them.
Alright, I think I got this. Challenge the Mongols to a standoff. Standoff? Oh, whoa. When approaching enemy territory, you can challenge foes to a standoff. Once once your enemy approaches, hold Y as soon as they distract and release them to. Oh.
I've come for Lord Shimura.
I'm ready. Woo! Alright, we're off to a great start. Oh my god. What the hell? I'm dead? Don't slit my oh my god. I guess we gotta go
I've
in.
come for Lord Shimura.
Yeah, you're darn right I have. I'm ready. Let's begin. Oh! Dude, why does he do so much damage? He just fucking kicked me? That prick? For Lord Shimura!
I've come for Lord Shimura.
My name is Jin Saka. And I am here for my uncle. Yeah, buddy, you're gonna die again. Oh, and you're done. Alright, for all three, good. I'm gonna get. Look at the guy on the right, actually. He's been my biggest. Oh. Woo! Ooh. There we go. Anybody else?
You did it.
Don't sound surprised.
What's all that noise?
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
Okay, so I forgot that he had a spear. I'm forgetting all the way over here. Okay,
What's all that noise?
Not sure.
brother.
The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
Ooh, there we go. Oh, I can end their suffering. Oh my gosh, Jin is so cool. Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, you know what? Thank you. No. Well, he died like a rag doll. Oh my gosh. Any secrets over here for Lord Shimura? Any secrets for the Sakaki clan? Oh. Glory to my people. Oh, alright. It is so dark. It is like midnight over here. Oh, what's up here? Chat, can we go up there? Oh, I just cannot. Okay, so I guess I gotta fight the Mongols. Oof. Who else would like to die tonight? Anybody? Oh! That one attack, dude, I'm all the way back here again.
What's all that noise?
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
Oh my god. Shit! That thing is dead. Those spears are deadly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking I have a lot more time than I do.
What's all that noise?
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
The hell? Yuna, I can fight my fights. You know that, right? Never mind, Yuna, fight them for me. Yuna, please! Yuna, please! Yuna! Okay. Let's try that again.
What's all that noise?
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
Go ahead. Jesus, are you serious? I tried parrying. That's my problem. You know what? Let me not try parrying. I'm trying to parry while I'm also like.
What's all that noise?
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
Oh, there we go. All right, come on, let's go, Yuna. Up the stairs, up the stairs. Let's go, 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 go. Who is ready to die?
Keep moving.
I parried? Okay, so you know when it says like, oh, if you click the left stick and then you'll be able to move to other characters, it's not doing that for me so far.
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
Never mind. It's working. I'm just slow. It's okay. Let's continue. Free Lord Shimura. Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, I have to hold my. Okay. Woo! I will not let you kill me. In his throat. Yep. Come on. That's how I like it. Yeah. Come on. Oh my God. Go up. Go up. Go up. Go go up. You gotta hold your stick in their direction while you attack. Oh! I understand now. So if I wanted to, I could.
What's all that noise?
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
Yeah, let me end your suffering. I'm sorry. Yep. Sorry, man. Whoa! Hey! Oof. Alright.
Keep moving. We can't.
What the fuck? We both. Come. Okay, you're telling me that I could get out of that? I just needed a second. But the guy just runs up near me and he says, "Oh."
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
This has got to be a fucking joke. Yuna, save me! She just sits there and just stands there. She's like, Jin, no!
What's all that noise?
Not sure.
Okay.
The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
Dude, what the hell? Okay, you know what? Let me look at this screen for a second, cause I keep looking, cause I'm not able to see. Okay, now I can see. Hold on, let me focus on this for a second.
What's all that noise?
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
I dodged! I know I did! I dodged! I know I did! We're not gonna, this is not gonna be near. This will not be
What's all
near.
that noise?
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
This will not be near. I will not get stuck here like this, no. I refuse. Come on. One attack? And I'm not even near, bro? What? Okay.
What's all that noise?
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
Yeah, you know what? My best friend is gonna be that block button because this is crazy.
What's all that noise?
Not sure.
Oh my god.
The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
What? How? No! I'm literally hitting him and he gets to attack me because he's closer. I was closer than him!
What's all that noise?
Not sure. The Mongols fired them off at the beach.
I'm not messing around anymore. Come on, let's go.
Keep moving! We can't retreat!
I refuse to die. 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 I refuse to die.
We can't keep going.
Why?
I have to. Fall back.
Alone?
Keep the path clear. When I find Lord Shimura, we'll need a quick escape.
I'll get the horses ready.
Do it. If I'm not back soon, ride for the forest.
Okay. You want me to tap Y? Hey, you said tap Y. I'm tapping Y. And Y is not Y. Okay. Sorry, man. Ooh, right in his throat. Chat. All right. So you want to know what happened? I used a heavy attack. That's what's killing me. I keep using those heavy attacks. No. All right. Let's try that again. What the fuck? Yep. Need your neck gone. For Lord Shimura! Wait, what the fuck? I'm playing hot potato over here like, ooh, who's gonna get me? Who's gonna get me? Who's gonna get me? It's fine. Brother! Damn it, I was so close. It's just I'm not used to spears yet. I'm not used to spears yet. All right, let's get in. What the fuck? What type of rock paper scissors bullshit is this? Is this real? No, okay. Tap. No. Come on. Are you serious? Lethal's fun. Lethal's fun. Lethal's fun. Nope. Nobody. Nope. Yep. Take that in your esophagus. Let the town be covered red in your spirit and blood. Just like the monk. Ooh. Oh my god. You know what? Okay, the one thing I'm probably gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to kill that spear first. I'm just gonna have to like. There we go. Yep. Next one, I can't be scared of the spears. The spears have to go. Go, 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 go. What the fuck? When as soon as I'm about to attack the spear and just cut him in half, the other guy is like, hey. Go home, buddy. Okay, you know, I want to try something different. What difficulty am I on? I'm on lethal. There we go. That's what I needed. Whoa, buddy. Yep. Yep. Glory to Lord Chimera. What is this? I can climb up here? What is that going to do for me? Glory to you, Lord Chimera. Lord Chimera, save me! Is there a meter for Huh? Wait, why is it saying that I'm forcing a block when I'm okay? That's weird. That might be just because I'm on Switch controller. That's weird. That was strange for a second. Okay. Ooh, there we go. Now next. Dude, this game does look really cool. I would like to say that. Hey, man. Okay, so I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to. Okay, do I take on the do I take on the guy with the spear first, or do I kill the guy with this shield first? I might have to take the guy on the spear first because this is insane. Come on. Come on, fuckboy. Okay. Come on, which one is it? There we go. Come on. Next. Under yourself, Racer. The game is pretty tough until you unlock the first set of skills. Okay. Well, that's fine with me. I don't mind. Nope, I know what you are. Yeah, now I see what you are. Okay. Dodging arrows before firing, Mongol archers will call and signal their allies Doc. I was gonna say, yeah, buddy. I don't know why you brought that to a sword fight. Can I climb? What the hell can I do up here? I can just watch. Oh, that's pretty. All right, well, it's time. Spamming dodge twice makes you invincible to air. Really now? Okay.
Stand and fight me.
Well, you know what time it is. There we go. Let's begin. Let's lock in. I say that, and then as I'm thinking I have full health, I'm fine. The guy tickles me once, and I'm just like, oh, fuck me. I'm up here. No, come back. Baby, come back. Oh, okay, no, we're not doing it. We're not making this a thing, no. I can jump in this game? Are you tapping or holding it? I'm tapping it. Let us begin. You can just hold it. Are you serious?
For me?
I can hold it. I can tap it. Okay. I didn't know I could hold it. Okay. Yes. But blue and red attacks. Alright, got it. Let's begin. Ooh, there we go. In your butthole, buddy. I was gonna end his suffering right there. All right. Give me my uncle back. Wait. Hold on. He's just here?
I am Jin Sakai. Nephew.
And I totally haven't died 7 times. Oh. At least he's cool.
I have come to avenge his honor.
No freaking way. What?
Your uncle has told me much about you, Jin Sakai.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I will show him his nephew, broken and humiliated, begging to join the Mongol Empire.
Oh no.
Jin.
Doesn't he fight with spear?
This is your time, Lord Sakai.
This dude's literally Oki, man. Like, literally volume 1 Oki, man. Just before the arrow of demise, man. Like, what the hell? This is King. Oh, I'm fighting the boss? What the hell? Is he just gonna keep doing that? He's touching me.
Your uncle is watching.
Yes, I haven't forgotten. Kutan Khan. Oh, he just fucking kicked me.
Submit, Lord Sakai.
I shall not. Oh my.
Enough. Surrender. Show your uncle how easily he can bring peace to your home.
No way. Dude, am I gonna have to restart the game like this? No, fuck off, please. No.
Yourself.
No. Ooh! Come on, Jin. Don't die on me. I'm dead. I'm dead?
I failed. Again.
What the hell?
Father.
Jin. Help me.
Oh, it's scripted for you to lose? Oh, okay.
May your death benefit all beings.
Dang. He killed Jin's dad like this, and then, oh, wow. There's a guy who beat him, got him to 0 HP, and he just doesn't die. Wow. Dang.
Young master, it's time.
I'm coming, Yuriko.
Oh my god, that's such a pretty name. Yuriko.
The
Oh my
whole
gosh.
island
At least Jin has
to
the
mourn
outfit.
your father.
Can't you send them away?
You must face them, Jin.
as the young emperor.
You are now the master of Clan Sakai.
Oh yeah, this is in China.
You're
Forgot.
not alone, Jin. Your
That's just-
father is the wind at your back. Your
Oh my
mother,
god.
the birds in the trees.
And uncle?
He will tell you at your father's pyre.
Thank you,
A
Yuriko.
game from 2020. No, it would have been crazy if you said this game was 2008. Now, a game from 2008, and if it's pretty, that's fucking crazy. You said a game from 1998, and you said it was crazy? That was crazy. 2020 doesn't do
Clan
that.
Adachi will help you.
Saka, thank you. Arigato. 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 Sorry, I gotta stop saying that. Damn, they're actually here for his father. Wow.
Your father
Arigato.
protected the people.
Ishikawa.
from else.
Ishikawa.
A true samurai.
Arigato. 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 Oh, ma'am, don't cry. It's okay, lady. Arigato. Dang, she got on her knees. Wow. Jin's father must have been a respectable guy, because for her to have been on her knees, that's crazy. Games really haven't gotten better since this game and other games that came out that year. Yeah. Man.
Couldn't save him. I was a coward.
Jin, you are a samurai.
He died. Because of me.
Your father fell in battle saving his only son. His reward is a warrior's death. Now you will carry on his legacy.
Uncle Shimura and Jin's dad's served the shogunate directly. That's what I was thinking, because of how close in ties they were with his Sake with his clan. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, they're lords. Yeah, no, I mean, okay. Well, so then that means after Jin's dad dies, then Lord Shimura then becomes a lord, serving right under the shogunate. Because they were talking about that earlier. I was like, wait, are they lords? I was confused. Glory to Japan! I love it here.
Tomorrow,
Let me calm down.
you will come to my fortress
Oof.
as my ward.
Oh, his ward? What? I'm your imp.
Say goodbye to your father.
You're taking me in, Lord Shimura? I'm your only emperor? You're not his emperor. He's a fucking apprentice. Jesus. Oh my god. Oh, I'm alive! Where am I? Am I on crack? No, I'm alive. Okay. Damn. Oh man. This has to be sad. Your entire island that you've defended for years, all of your comrades dead. Your uncle is captured. Your honor is deceased. You can't even avenge your father. The Mongols have taken everything from you. This is crazy. All in the first hour, by the way. Oh, it's the wind. I mean, you're not wrong. It is one of the strongest armies in history, but still, I'm just like, damn. Follow the wind. Oh my god. Hopefully my 2060 doesn't crash on me. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is beautiful. Oh. Oh my gosh. Yuna Nano.
Jin, what happened?
I found Lord Shimura.
And I got my ass handed to
I
me.
could have saved him.
but we're shit right
The
now.
Khan was there. I failed my uncle.
At least you're in one piece.
I swore to protect this island with my life. But now the Mongols have stolen our home. Killed our samurai.
You forgot what it's like to fight someone stronger than you. To feel weak. Sometimes when you're staring death in the face, you have to do whatever it takes to survive.
I watched one of the
Khan
best openings for a
expects
game
to fight
ever,
a war
really.
against the samurai. He will anticipate our every move. Unless we find new ways to surprise him. That's how we'll save Lord Shimura. And retake our home.
You'll need some help.
Riders. The Khan's attack dogs.
There's too many of them! Hide! In the grass!
Ooh, that's a lot of them. Dang. And they're just saying the samurai couldn't have gotten far. Go kill him. Yuna. Yuna. Yuna, I want my hand, Yuna, please.
They must be searching for you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Bastards scared off the horses.
They're samurai mounts. Trained to return to their masters.
I can call my horse?
Nice trick.
What do you mean nice trick? I mean, that's my horse.
The Mongols must be hunting you.
Of course.
Split up. I'll draw their attention while you escape.
I'm not leaving your side until we've saved my brother.
First, I need to find more allies. Trained warriors. Like Sensei Ishikawa and Lady Masako Adachi.
Oh,
They
must
can
have
help.
My brother can help too.
What is he
Once
gonna
you
do?
Save him, you'll have the island's best blacksmith in your debt. He'll make whatever tool you need to save your uncle.
Something to scale the castle walls?
You dream it, Taka can make it.
Where are they holding him?
He was captured near Kechi.
Oh, that's
Right
how you
there
do.
and ask around. I'll join you soon.
Taka won't last long in the Mongol cage.
Yuna. We will save your brother.
And your uncle.
I love how I'm sweating so much. Jin is just like an absolute sweater. Alright, bye, Yuna! Thanks for being a great, just, you know, like my oh my gosh. A great archer. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, where are we going? Where are we going, Jin? Oh, I'm controlling. Whoa, whoa. Where are we going? Sucker Punch music. Oh! Oh! Are you serious? Act 1, rescue Lord Shimura. Oh. I love Japan. I love Japan. Sucker Punch. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, hey, you. Yoshi, wait a damn minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're on Tatsumiya Island. So hold on. Wait a minute. Is this? I was like, no, this is a tale. Rewards. Complete tales to build your legend and acquire new resources and abilities. Oh. As your legends grow, you'll learn more new powerful skills. Oh, I'm at the broken samurai right now. Choose your destination and the wind will guide you. No way, it's that big. Is this real, chat? Oh, what? Oh, wow. This is huge. Okay, so it wants me to choose it. The tail. Shoot, what should I do? Look to the far right. There's more over here. Oh my god. Holy crap. Wow, sucker punch. Hey man. I'm still going up. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, should I deal with Yuna first or should I get a bow? Rewards assassination? Ooh, I'll get a bow first. I can take a picture? Yuna's oh! Come on, Nano. Oh. The liberation. Oh, Mongol Joe. Oikawa Dojo. Liberated. Oh my god. Mongol territory. Oh my god. Where do I go? I forgot. Are you in love with the game yet? This is pretty. I can't even lie. Even running on the potato settings I am right now. Yeah, this is what they call a peak. Wow. And I thought Stellar Blade was pretty. Like, that game has some of my favorite backdrops and things of the century, but of the decade. But this game, wow. Man, is it pretty. Yuri Yuchi's Cross. Ooh. Is this where I'm supposed to go? Oh. I can equip charms? Killing. Oh, I can health? What is that? I have 2 swords already. There's a song? I mean, so I could just... So, if I could just do anything, remotely anything in this game, you're telling me I could just go fight who I want? As long as no one has a spear, I don't care. Ooh. For Lord Shimura! What the hell is that thing? I'm sorry, big boy. No more potato salad for you. Lux on, by the way, but it's not entirely needed for this game. Okay.
Draw your blade.
Just gotta cream sometimes, guys. Run, Jin! Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm not dead. I'm dead. Did he fucking okay. Okay, dude, I'm gonna be honest, chat. I really like this game.
Come here and
Do a main mission before you do camps? Oh, is that okay? Well then I'll make it to the last try. Now you know he's gone. Next one. Whoa. Hey, man. Whoa, hey, man. Ooh. Damn it, I had it. You're extremely bare bones when you start. Really? Okay, well then if that's the case. I love the way that the oh my god. Can I, hold on, chat. Can I ride my horse while running? Hold on, I want to try it now. Chat, hold on, I want to try it. Hold on, can I? Come on. Can I do it? Okay, it's not exactly what I was expecting it, but you know what? It's better than nothing. Okay. Yoshi Springs. Okay. So how do oh my god. Saw you in the content court for a minute. Oh. Right now? I wasn't there earlier. I was there for quite some time. Okay, so how do I get down? Oh, chat. Oh, nope, I see it. Am I too fast for my... I think I'm too fast for my horse, chat. Yeah, boy. Ooh, springs?
Yoshi Springs.
Yeah.
Perhaps someone at the inn can direct me to Sensei Ishikawa.
Okay. Angeseo. This is not fucking for you. I play too much Stellar Blade. Alright. Ask about the shrines. Hold on. Use the other ones? Okay. Hold on. So then, how do I direct the ones again? How do I check the ones? Hey man, can you tell me how to direct the ones? Hey man, don't listen to me. I'm a samurai. Oh, dude is bare bones. Could I? Ooh, okay, that would have been bad.
My lord, would that
Hold
be the blade of
upright.
Clan Sakai?
Hold it right on D-pad and point up. Oh. Oh. The winds, they guide me. Oh my gosh.
Swords.
That is one worth knowing. I've heard tales of its sharp edge and beauty, but I never dreamed I'd see it in person.
It has been some time since I trained on a bamboo stand.
I would be honored to see your blade in action.
Hmm. What? Yeah, I forgot since they had the port, they had to change it to. Oh, okay. Oh, I am so sorry. Oh, this is what you're talking about? Okay. Damn. I cut through. Okay. Damn. I hit the wrong button. Are you serious? Oh, it's L. Okay, hold on. Damn it, I got it wrong. Oh my god. Actually, this is kind of fun. I did it wrong. I did it too early. Ooh, there we go. My resolve has increased. Ooh, 4? I know what I'm doing from now on. Yes.
The Sakai steel is a truly fine blade, wielded by an even finer swordsman. But training with bamboo will only make you stronger.
I'll need strength for what lies ahead.
There are bamboo stands throughout the island. They will help
This is
sharpen
so
your
pretty,
skills on the
chat.
journey. Farewell, my lord.
Thank you. You have my respect. The winds lead me 4-way. This is such a pretty place. Now this does remind me of a place.
You must be weary from battle.
I am.
Come, soak in the healing waters of these hot springs. Replenish your strength for the challenges to come.
I must be at my best for all of them.
Then follow me, my lord.
Oh? You're gonna put me in a hot spring? I will say I think my armor looks cool.
Bathing in the hot springs restores your spirit.
Doesn't
And
know.
if you make a habit of it, the waters will grant you a long and prosperous life.
Well, really now. Oh my gosh. Where do you want me to go? Do I get naked? Do I? Oh, do I get naked or something? Like what? Like, do I get naked?
And clear. The waters are warm and calming.
Oh. So I don't get naked. Oh, just straight. All right. Reflect on my uncle.
I thought they killed Lord Shimura.
They just have his butt
Everything
out.
he's done for me. Everything he taught me.
Okay,
I can't lose my uncle.
how the fuck did this not win Game of the Year? It's got everything. Oh, my maximum health increased? Okay. It's got everything that everyone likes. For Weaves, it has Japan. For people who are into Japan, you got it right here. Girls, bare ass.
Ready to take on the whole Mongol army.
The mid of us won?
It was my pleasure. There are hot springs all over the island. Make use of them. Take time to heal and reflect. The practice will keep your body ready for battle, my lord.
Okay. So the mid of us won over Peak. Wow. Oh, my headphones are about to die. Hold on, chat. I can feel it.
A samurai. Right?
You're darn right. It's me.
I'm looking for Sensei Ishikawa.
I thought he fell at Komoda.
He didn't. Where is his dojo?
To the forest. I can show you the way, my lord.
Please.
Did the sensei not fight at Komoda?
No.
He came to town for surprise the day before the invasion. Hardly spoke a word, but he's always been a private man.
Whoa, look at him. I can see the shadows and everything, man.
My lord, are the stories of Sensei Ishikawa true?
What stories?
They say he sank a pirate ship with a single arrow.
Not the ship, but he shot a pirate captain from the shore. Routed the whole fleet.
I'd hate
Wow.
to cross an archer like that.
Do you deserve death?
I hope not, my lord.
Then you're safe from Ishikawa.
I hope not, my lord. And you are safe from Ishikawa.
The sensei's dojo is up there on the cliff.
Oh! So it's right there.
Thank you. I'll take it from here.
One more question, my lord.
Okay.
May I ask why the sensei left his post as archery master to Clan Nagao?
No one knows.
Strange. Giving up service to a great lord for this.
Well, everyone's got the reasonings. Oh my god, look at the wind. Oh! Oh, my horse is just right there. Oh! We're gonna work on that. Legend of Zelda, you can do it, but not in this game. You got a problem. I can jump off. I can jump in this game? Hold on. I wanna look cool. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Sensei Ishikawa's dojo.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, I just want to see one thing. Is it prettier than Breath of the Wild? Oh, this is pretty. Wow. I left Tatsumi Island. Just right here. Glory to the
There was a
Shogunate.
struggle here. Better look around.
Can't see because it's dark as crap. Oh.
Dried blood. The fight wasn't recent.
Oh. Lord Ishikawa, no.
Someone was wounded. Remove the arrow.
Do I go up here? Okay, I don't know why it looks like I was dropping for a second. Which way? Oh, right here.
Bloody footprints. The victim or the attacker. Maybe the sensei is in his house.
Okay. So all the way down here. Oh, over here. They keep going this way.
Humble home for a samurai.
And then in here. Alright. Oh, Mr. Ishikawa. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Sensei Ishikawa.
Lord Sakai's boy.
Hey, man.
You survived Komura.
We could have used your bone.
I was on my way when bandits attacked me.
Are you expecting them to return?
A samurai is never caught by surprise. I'm sorry about Lord Shimura. He was a good man.
He's still alive, guys.
Taken captive by the Mongols.
Then there's hope.
That's why I've come. Help me save him.
I can't. My student is missing. A skilled archer.
I will help you look. Then you can both help me free Lord Shimura.
Okay.
Try and keep up, Sakai.
Alright, depending on how long this side quest is, I'm either the tale of Sensei Ishikawa. Depending on how long this side quest is, I'm probably gonna have to end stream. You know, I think it's a good introduction. You know, we're gonna slide right into things.
Who else made it out of Komura?
No one knows.
Are there any others who can fight back?
Besides us? I don't know yet.
You'd better find out quickly. We can't
Fine,
figure
just-
Uncle by ourselves.
I can help track your student.
I need no help tracking Tomoe.
Tomoe.
Tomoe?
A woman. From what clan?
No clan. A peasant.
Oh.
But she can outshoot any samurai I know. Even you, Sakai.
Really?
The last time I saw you was 10 years ago.
You came to study with me.
You remember?
I remember most of the students I reject.
Instead, you took this Tomoe as your student.
You showed promise.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on TV. Okay.
He's a prodigy.
Oh.
Stand and fight!
Mongols, take them.
Wait, you're not that far in the game. What the fuck? Yeah.
Samurai!
Woo! All right. Well, you know what time it is. Oh, yeah, there we go. Ooh!
Fight like drunk tanuki.
They fought well enough at Komoda.
Even tanuki can catch a tiger when it's sleeping.
That is true. You're busy after stream? I might do some shorts. Might start scripting some more
Trail
videos.
picks up here. Come.
You may never know.
The Mongols took Fort Nakayama. The patrol likely came from there.
That's
I'm
close
sorry.
to the hot springs.
The town will be the next to fall.
What? We gotta save it.
Here.
An ambush. Look around.
Rice and millet.
Ooh, rice.
The
Ooh.
attack was sudden.
Rice does sound good right now, Chad.
Blood, but not much.
No one died.
Auburn Observer, I might do that. Man, if only I could. Oh, man.
Japanese quiver.
A gift
Oh.
to my greatest student. I
So
fear
then-
the worst.
It's okay. The wind
We'll
mechanic
never
is so
leave the
cool.
quiver behind
Ooh.
Unless she was pursued.
or captured.
Or both.
And
Interrogation, torture. Worse.
they may be doing the same to Lord Shimura.
Fear is a weapon, Sakai.
It is.
Do not let the Mongols use it against you.
That is true. Ishikawa.
Your student. Where would they take her?
Fort Nakayama.
Fort Nakayama. All right. How far is that?
The
Oh
fort
my god.
nearby.
Is that the sun? Oh, yeah. This game
should've
lost
fought
to
the
the mid of
Komodo
us makes no sense to me.
You
This will
lost
not
in
make
the
sense to
fair.
me.
Why did the samurai fail?
The Mongols fought like animals.
Wrong answer.
I saw it with my own eyes.
An archer's aim relies not on eyes, but on body, mind, and spirit.
Okay. I mean, that is true. Hey, man, can I get the plant? You're okay with me getting the plant? This is all I want. See, okay.
Stop here. We need to talk.
What's wrong, Sensei?
This bow was a gift to me from Lord Nagao many years ago.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
a beautiful weapon.
That is pretty.
Of course it is. And there's nothing more painful to me than a perfect bow ineptly used.
Then it's a good thing you're giving it to me.
Don't say anything about giving.
I just finished watching it. I
You can
enjoy it.
shoot straight.
Oh?
I'll let you borrow it.
You let me borrow
Try
it?
out before we go into battle.
Half bow, moderate damage and speed. Okay, I want season 2.
Aim for that lamp closest to us.
That lamp. Okay. Ulti. And oh, this one. Oof.
Now the one further down.
They ended on a high point, did they?
Not bad. Let's see if you can hit the one furthest away. The further the target, the more your arrow drops. How does it feel?
Like it was made for me.
It wasn't. Take good care of it. Let's go.
Alright, I won't lie, the banner in this game is funny. Like, he's like,
A bow
how do
this
you like
would
it?
have helped at Komoda.
It is a good bow, but victory is won by warriors,
Not by weapons. That
I
is
haven't
true.
seen the Mongols fire weapons.
And they have not yet won.
That is also true. Oh my god, I just can't believe this is like a real game.
Fort Nakayama.
So,
hope your student
English
is
better,
inside.
right? Slow your roll. Slow your roll. The banter's funny. I'll say that much.
Better look at the defenses from up there.
The banter is extremely funny. I very much so like the banter in this game. Oh, bamboo. Okay, we can start crafting stuff with that.
This spot is perfect.
I'll find a way in. Open the gate. Then we hit
Do
them.
you always charge into battle with your hakama half-tied?
You have a better idea?
Patience, Sakai. The Mongols will send men to find their missing patrol. When they open the gates, we strike.
The longer we delay, the longer Tomoe remains in danger.
Season 2 is going to take
She
a
can take
long
care of
time. Yeah, it
herself.
is.
Survey the battlefield. What can
Okay.
we use to our advantage?
They have
I
many
didn't think
archers.
They're skilled, but we are better.
And
They're fire.
arrows hanging lights will kick up sparks.
And start fires.
Yeah, since the first season, since TBR X, I think it took 3 to 4 years to make. It took a long time for TBR X. Like I remember hearing about it back in 2021.
One shot could stir them up.
Ooh,
The Mongols will face the sting of insects and arrows.
I think that's a good thing.
When the gates open, distract the enemy and rain arrows on their heads.
Then we storm the fort and free Tomoe.
Good. Now we wait.
Are we gonna sleep?
They're opening the gates.
Wait for my signal.
I actually appreciate that they showed that they took a while. Okay. That's not my fault. What? Your suspicions gotta go down for a second. Come on, up a little. What? Oh my god! Come on, man. Oh, I guess I get it. Your feet. I just did not. Oh, I was about to say, like, no hit. Oh, right in the head. Alright. What the fuck? Getting a. I'm that.
Opening the gates.
That's what killed me. Okay. I did not wait on your signal. You are right about that one, buddy. Sorry, Ishikawa. Sorry, Sensei. All right, which way are we going? And where are they going? Depending on where they're going. I mean, you know, I'm not surprised people are dying from wasps. That makes sense. So do we burn them, or what do you want to do?
Get ready. Now, send them to their ancestors.
Okay, the way they're kind of dying is killing me. Fire, wasp, and oh, and a headshot. Bro, Ishikawa, come on, man. I need you to get out of the way. Come on, there we go. Oh my god. Please? There we go.
Not bad, Sakai.
Yeah, I didn't die
Inside.
once.
Not for long. Let's find Tomoe.
Oh my god. Anyone got any valuables on them? Any trinkets? Any yen? Any gold? Sorry. Damn. Kinda feel bad. So... what the? You can see me? Oh god. Whoa, whoa, he has a... okay. Okay, all right. So I get it now. I get it. I understand. Let me no. What the fuck? Nothing killed me. That is so pretty. Okay, so actually, I want to see something now. Could I? Oh, I like this game already. Let's see. Please. There's gotta be a way for me to hit that. Come on, I think I can go up a little more. Come on, chat. I know it. What the fuck? Who hit me? Ooh, alright, that's gonna leave a mark. Ooh. Did we kill all of them? I feel as if we did. Okay, you know what? I don't even know why I did that. As Lord Sakai, I think we've eliminated the people. No, we didn't, because I can hear the... Where's this coming from? Oh my god, up there? Dude, come on. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm dead. What the fuck? What? Okay. Fucking hell, are you serious? Why would you go down? I don't need you down. I need you up right now. Come on. Oof. You know what, Chad? You know what? There was one thing I did want to do when I was younger. That was archery. I thought it was just always so cool. Who the hell's hitting me? Actually, you know what I am going to do? There's no absolute friggin' way. Come on, dude. Right on his head. He is dying. If I hear one guy say, "Mucho, ojo, ojo," hit my head. Come on, no, come on, don't die. We're scaling bow level right now, okay? Okay. It's not like they see us right now. They don't see us. Right, Ishikawa? Okay. Alright, you know what? Imagine a Rainbow Season 2. That would be peak. So, you know, they do have something over us, and it's these fireworks. Like, the mongrels having fireworks is, what the fuck? Blow it up! Now I gotta deal with this. Thanks, Gramps! Okay. Dude, it's like every time. I just want to spook them for a second. No, why are you shooting at them? Oh! Ishikawa, are you serious? Blowing our damn cover, man. Not cool. You know what, we just need to... You know what, fuck it, we'll do it your way. Come on, let's go. Let's go. You want to act this way? Come on, let's go. I'm acting like a darn fool. Oh, I got a fucking baby maker over here? Oh my god. I'm getting fucking tossed around. Oh my gosh, thank you. To battle! So, okay, so now we have a problem. How the fuck? Alright, I might have to really sneak around and do this. Because nothing else is making sense. Okay, we've got some out there. But there's not a single soul anywhere else. The camera mode? Oh, I can switch the camera side? Oh. Oh. Perfect. I'm not hitting high enough. I know I hit that. Alright, how about we back up a little bit and then we attack again, huh? You think that's a good idea, Grams? I like that idea too. Or are we just gonna go ahead and just go in there and just not say a word, huh? Thank you. That's what we need. Okay, so... Did he already fall down? Dude, this guy is just everywhere he does not need to be right now. Why? Eh? Where? I just don't want to deal with the baby man. Are you fighting them, Grams? Please stop. Ishikawa, please. Ishikawa, please don't do this to me. Why are you here? You know what? Just blowing all of my cover, huh? He's doing all of this. Brother, what? You can die? Because of this guy right here. Bro, he does this that stupid little cross thing. I'm fighting fucking Shimra. Shemra. That's what I'm fighting. I'm fighting fucking Archer. The bone is my blade. The bone is my sword. I have created 1,000 blades. And with this is unlimited blade works, buddy. Nice shot. Thank you. I pay extra for parties. I hate that my neck looks like this way. Why am I sitting like that? Hold on. Can I order them up, maybe? Ishikawa, where are you going? Dude, this might be the worst AI I've ever had to deal with, ever. Are you serious? You're just going in? No thought, no plan. You're just going in. I know I haven't forgotten what game mode we're playing it on, but okay, I guess he has. He's like, Shinra, save me. Usually, okay. Now, one thing we could do. Now, if we're able to do this, I'll feel happy. Fuck off. Okay, you know what? I'm tired of this baby bitch. Come on, come here. Ooh, that was beautiful. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you, Sensei Shimura. I was about to say, I am touching him right there. Try again. What do you mean abandon? Hello? Do you know who I am? Game, don't frustrate me right now. Thank you. Alright, come on. I'm over here near a bunch of wobs. What am I doing? Oh, the one guy we need to kill. Goodbye. Thank you. That's not what we need to kill though. The guy is right over here. Come at me, motherfucker. Woo! Perfect. Water stance? Okay. Beautiful. Now I don't care. Let's go. Die. You've done your due diligence. I do care. I do care. I care so much. Please don't die. Shit, it was all a joke. Shit, it's all. I promise you, Mr. Sensei Ishikawa, do not die. That was the worst. Hold on. Let me go up. Can I get up? Oh my god, he fell me the fuck over? Did we kill all of them?
Slain prisoners.
Tied up. Killed with arrows.
Tomoe isn't. Wait, this pendant belongs to her. Search the fort!
Tomere! Tomere! We must kill those mongrels.
Someone's personal quarters.
A woman's kimono.
Tomoe's kimono.
The Mongols freed her. Why?
She's a woman, and maybe I'm thinking. Well, I don't know. What? I was not about to use that. I appreciate the game though, but I just was not.
These arrows are Japanese.
They're Tomoe's arrows.
You are sure?
I taught her to make the knock with deer horn. And that curve of the eagle feathers.
So the Mongols took her weapons?
The shots are tightly clustered. No Mongol shoots Japanese arrows with such skill.
Huh. Then they allowed her to use a bow.
Do you think they... Are we thinking the unthinkable, gentlemen? Are we thinking she betrayed us? She betrayed the shogunate? She betrayed her honor?
A scroll. Archery terms with Mongolian translations.
Oh my
Your
god.
name is mentioned.
She was teaching them my way of the bow.
Oh my god. Now we gotta go kill her. Ooh.
A survivor.
What the? Okay, so he can go, but I can't. Okay. Ishikawa, don't you dare make me Lono just... Alright, you're so lucky. Come on, let's go. No, what happened?
We're looking for a woman, an archer.
The Mongols caged her with us. But they set her free. Gave her armor and a bow. She killed my wife. And the others. The bodies we found.
She proved her skill to the enemy. And they recruited her.
Please. It hurts. Don't leave me.
I've seen enough. Let's go.
Well, what do you want to do with her now?
I should have killed her.
Sensei?
Tomoe won her freedom. And she joined the Mongols.
Why would she do that? What happened?
They pushed her too hard.
Pushed her how?
What did you do?
What are you hiding? Sensei!
Yeah, what did you do? Sensei! No, stop it. What did you do?
I demand an answer.
Yeah, I do too.
He attacked me.
What?
Not bandits. Tomoe.
Why?
She has no idea what it means to be samurai.
You drove her to the Mongols.
Do not judge me.
Do not lie to me.
Yeah.
I can't let Tomoe teach my way of the bow to the enemy.
Then we will stop her.
Without killing her.
This is my fight. I don't need your weapon.
No, you need me. Victory is won by warriors.
Not by weapon.
Not weapons.
Yes. Damn.
Lord Shimura raised you well.
I'm surprised the kids didn't want to eat this instead of eating Villain Saga.
Hunt Tomoe
But okay.
together, but we do it my way.
And when the time comes, you will help rescue my uncle.
You have my word, Sakai. I will prepare to hunt Tomoe. When you are ready, meet me at my dojo.
We can't rescue my uncle alone. I need more people to join our fight.
Find Lady Masako Adachi. If she's still alive, she's one of the finest warriors on the island.
Yeah, before I do any of that, I'm going to need a lot more health. I cannot do that anymore. Oh my gosh. Swag. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. Don't I look cool? The Tale of Sensei Ishikawa. Recruit Ishikawa. Oh, we're done? That was kind of short. Oh, technique point acquired. Ooh. Here you can have a technique attack. Ooh. The additional heroes Tsushima technical points. Use them to to fight the Mongols. I can roll now? Thank fuck. Okay, so I either can perfect parry it or I can use roll. Which one am I doing more, chat? Oh. Probably the... Oh, I have both. That is right. Oh, I can perfect peel it. Wait, I can perfect parry and heal? Parry an unbarkable... I can parry unbarkables? I can heavy strike? I can do Dance of the Wrath? Way of the Flame? What? Explosive? What? Exploration. You've acquired a new weapon, and now it is time, huh? Oh my gosh. Good God. I can roll? The Lady of Masako. Alright, now I kind of want to hunt a camp, chat. I kind of want to hunt a camp. That was fun. I get to brutally murder people and it was justified. Yes. That sounds crazy to say. Reward, increase minor legend, 8 iron and status progress. At technical point. So if I were to go hunt Castle Kinda. Holy shit. Tetsumi Island has been occupied by all of the Mongols. Okay. So Samurai Clan armor, and then I can go to the Warrior's Code, but the temples. And it is time. Chat, before we end, there's one thing I really want to do. I want to liberate a place. I just want to do it just one time, chat. Now, I will say after this, I will Why don't you go faster? Aren't you supposed to like move with me? Oh my god, this is such a pretty game. Okay, we're close. So I do want to attack the other place because I think it would make more sense for me to do that. And on top of that, I would also really like to you know, get some points up. Oh my gosh. I like how the wind directs you where you're going. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. What happened to video games, chat? Ooh. Was it still this way? So, oh my gosh, look at just the bamboo. Everything about this. Oh my gosh, chat, imagine we had an onigiri in here. But I'm glad I have the roll. No, the roll is exactly what I need. This game is so pretty. But I don't know, man. It doesn't beat out, what's it called? It can't beat out Stellar Blade. That game was just phenomenal. Hey, you guys bandits? Are you guys bandits?
Show me the mighty samurai.
You bandits? I know how to deal with you guys. What the hell? I thought I killed you. Yeah, I don't know what you were thinking. The lady, no, they killed this poor lady. But what does she have?
Find peace.
Hopefully you're able to. I'll make sure that the others are not able to. Do we have any, you guys see any bombs at all, chat? Hear a lot of mongrel speaking. But I don't see enough bombs. I don't think. Defeat the Mongols. Find and observe the Mongol leader. I don't think that's a bad idea. Is there any way I can, like, get rid of that fire? Let's see. Chat, you gave me the wrong game to play, chat. I'm gonna look at every nook and cranny and be like, what can I not do? You guys don't see me. There's nothing over here. There's not a single thing over here, yeah. You're right, there isn't. Clearly you guys are losing your mind. There's a big boy over there. Let's go, come on. Aye. I'm fucking dead. No, I'm not. Come on. Yes. Run! Shen, run! Run if you love yourself! Come on. Going with big boy again, okay. Got something for you now. You're done. Yeah. I've got something for you now. Oh shit, I can't. Wait, hold on. There's gotta be something I can use, right? Oh, we found the leader. He's in the dam. Can't see anything. He tracked me! That can't be real. I'm over here. That's insane. Okay. Yeah, everyone's on high alert. Perfect. I have 4. Okay. Chat. You see, you guys gave me the wrong game to play. I have too much freedom. You see all that? I've got too much freedom. And now you've got me wanting to do one thing that I've never done before. Which is, I can liberate other things as well. Chat. They should have never gave me the opportunity to do this. Now I'm gonna be friggin' annoying. Look at how the winds are blowing. Oh, they still don't know it's me. Perfect. You don't even know where it's coming from, buddy. Two of your comrades are just dead on the floor. No rhyme or reason. Or actions behind it, and you're about to join them. Glory to Valhalla. And no one missed him. Now, the other one. Through the cherry blossom trees, I smell the warrior's blood and knees. The sickle sunny and honey of breeze. May mine have of ease. What? Shh. Perfect. Okay. Well, now I can just sneak around. La 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 la. So can I get in here? There's not anyone in here, right? Ooh, anything good? Ooh, steel. Oh, now you found out that he died. Okay. I like he sees me, so it's fun. Anybody have any arrows? Perfect. All right, chat. Okay, so what's over here? I'll look for that in a second. I just need to see what's over here. Jin. I might be a little slow. Okay. Man, I still want to kill the guy. There we go. Beautiful. I was like, I'm still gonna kill the guy. I don't care. That was beautiful. Just want to say I kind of cooked. As good against shield enemies? Okay. It's highly as effective against shields. Oh. Oh, that's oh my goodness. Oh. Daddy likes yes. Me likey. Me likey. No, I wanted to get that. I'm sorry. I like that so much. That was oh. So this place is now ours, right? Oh, the crossroads is now ours. Yippee! Hold and press R if I want to. Oh, I can. Oh, stone. Oh my god. Yeah, they don't even know what they've just done. All right, I'll be honest. That was the coolest like assassination thing I've done in a long time. Well, can I tame the water? Hey, 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 hey. Shit, I don't even like you. Having too much fun? You know, I will fucking kill you, horse. Did I just kill a horse? I can kill horses? Hey, this is my kind of game. Oh. We're just stabbing people through stuff? Alright, so I'm gonna be honest. Yes. Am I having too much fun? Yes, I am. Does the game save by itself? You can explore. Yes, exploration. Can I save the game? Oh, okay. So, oh my god, it's just so beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, like I'm gonna be honest, kind of liberating the dojos and stuff is kind of fun. Like having to figure out how I want to kill the mongrels and like kind of stealthing around.
We'll save you, my boy. Stop it, you animals!
What?
My lord!
What's happening?
They've taken the bridge. Tell me. We were running for Hiyoshi Springs. The bridge looked safe, but the Mongols were in the ravine.
Oh.
They started shooting from below.
Someone's injured.
Banta. My brother's boy.
Oh no.
Using him as bait. Tell your family to stay clear of the bridge. I'll stop this.
You're damn right. Who's better than Tomb Raider? All right, look here. There's no Lara Croft. It's only me, Jin Saka. All right, chat. I am having fun. Okay, I'm having fun. All right, all right, all right. A man can have fun too, you know.
Your family's leaving you to die.
Their chefs have to say.
Would you think Abracadabra sneaking after you?
Damn, I can't even get his arrows. Can I move? Game, don't piss me off. Game, don't piss me off, please. I now can't get up, and now all of a sudden game, please. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. I'm running away. I'm running it right. What shot am I using? No, I'm using water. Shall I see? Oh, can I pick up the arrow? No, it's just fuck me, I guess. Okay. We're in the ravine? Where? Why hide? What? Oh, right here. No, he's dead. Oh, I do see the people. Oh, it is time for death. It is time for you to meet my samurai blade. Oh, beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh, beautiful. Great technique. I'll end your suffering. May you find peace in your warrior spirit. I shall kill the one. Oh, I can swim. He's over here like, yes, I'm gonna kill this boy, and I'm just like, yes, I'm gonna kill you. Ooh, that was. Oh my God. Oh. Chat, have I ever said it? If I haven't said it now, I'll say it now. Glory to China. Oh, what the fuck? No, wait. See, that's why they got mad at me for saying Saga! Jin Saga!
Your family's leaving you to die. They're dead, What'd you think? Abracjijirsen Hudina? Harbo!
Fuck off. Come on. Are you serious? He moved? Well, I guess I know what time it is now. Did you try? Did you come to me? Who the hell do you think I am? Oh my God, Jin, don't jump too fast. Do you understand who I am? I am the Shadows, the ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, motherfucker, I am the ghost. You're gonna go to sleep? Your drip ass get fitted? What the hell? That's insane. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun, chat. Oh my gosh. I am the ghost of Tsushima. Ooh. Why? His butt's up in the air? Oh my God. I pegged him, chat. Figuratively and literally. Where are the other ones? Clearly, I might not know where they are. New hairstyle? Yeah, I decided to get some to have my inner guy in, you know? Ooh, oh. I'm just gonna keep. Please, please. Yes, I wanted to become more like Tello. Can I please dodge? Can we please run? Please run. Can I please jump? Can I please jump? Jump, save me. Okay. There's so many. Can we? Lord Shinra! Dude, I don't have enough arrows. Where am I gonna find arrows? Alright, so I think this is the problem. So I need to get rid of the ones over here first. Yeah, because I just don't want to deal with them later. How? 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 They don't see me! This cannot be a real game. There's no way. Game, stop BSing me. Come on now. Come on, you saw. You saw. Come on, game. You saw. You saw it. You saw it, game, okay? This wasn't like one of those teehee, I'm not gaming. No, you saw it, game. I can challenge her enemies.
Stand and fight!
Where are they? But how are you doing, Crimson? Where are they? Oh, they're all right here. Perfect. I like it when I have to go to them and not they don't have to come to me. Doing all right. What about you? I am playing one of, if not the. I'm doing pretty well. That was it. That was it. I'm doing quite well. You know, I'm playing Ghost of Peak, you know, and I'm not playing The Last of Mid. I'm feeling good, you know. Just want to say, you know, shout out to Tsushima isn't due to Peak, you can call it that. I'm going and playing Ghost of Peak, and you know, I do think that it was you know, it got stolen. Game of the Year got stolen by that Last of Mid. That garbage game. Oh my god, look how beautiful the way he uses the katana, man. Oh. It's just so cool.
It is over. Go to your family.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord.
You're welcome.
The bridge is clear.
You can all come out now. Bro, is not gonna end. Bro, I'm sorry. You know what? Can I be very honest with you? I like the game. I'm addicted. I feel like I'm playing Stellar Blade all over again.
Their suffering isn't your concern. Take your family to Hiyoshi Springs. These roads are dangerous.
We will. Thank you.
What's my bit rate? I'm at 5,000. I normally do like 8K, but I realize if I'm playing a really massive game, like Ghost of Tsushima, I will not do 8K. I have to go lower. It's decent. Yeah, I know. It probably looks a little choppy. I said everything looks clear. Ooh, nope. Oh, okay, well, I guess I know what I'm doing. We got it. I'm not Jason the Ween, you know. Defense charm. Ooh, Charm of Undying. I know what I want now. I want him dead. I want him dead. Horse! Becometh my steed. You do not need his bit rate amount? I do. Where's my steed? Steed!
Here!
Come to me! Is someone needed? No, man. I need... Where's my horse? Yes! Steed!
That's my noble.
Faster, noble.
Noble. Yes, noble. Oh. Oh. So this is where it is, huh? You do not need that. No, I do. I need it all. Damn. Are you serious? Shut up. Oh. What you need to do is place... I was planning on playing that, actually. Oh, there we go. Yep. Can I hide? In here. I was thinking about playing the game. I will say that, Zingo. It looks like a lot of fun, but Pokemon ZA. I gotta put my money where I need it. Glory to Nintendo. Okay, so better option than Z8? No, man. I need my Mega Evolution. Shit. Burn Nintendo. That's not Nintendo's fault. That's a whole Game Freak issue. No, man. I'm not even gonna blame Nintendo for this one. That's Game Freak. There's one asset. Yeah, that's not Nintendo. That's all Game Freak. That's their fault. It doesn't. Oh my God! I love killing people. Oh, what the fuck? How did you get here? What? How the fuck? Oh my God! I love this game. Oh my God! I feel like I'm playing Stellar Blade all over again. Jesus Christ! Oh, it feels so good. Windows and doors are PNG. Yeah, that's a. You know, I'm telling you, that's not Nintendo. That's Game Freak. They're choosing to do games like this. I'm gonna kill that fucker. Yeah. No standoff. No, we're gonna assassinate this dial. Gonna hit him right in his little noggin. Right in that little tushy of his. Yep. Goodbye. That felt so good. Thank you for your supplies, Buster. Now the question is, do I want... Because I have to get up there. I mean, I will say some of the Mega Evolutions this time around, they're not all bad. Now, some are bad. I'll be very honest. Some are bad, but some are really cool. Dragonite, Starry. Thank God, Zekrom. No, what's his name? Zoroark? Zoroark doesn't have one, and Zenaro doesn't have one. That fucking Lightning Cat Pokemon? No, that dude could kiss my black butt. I'm fucking dead. I knew that from the... Oh, I'm not dead. I'm not... Okay. Zoroark? No, man. I'm sorry. Zoroark's got a... Oh, no, I'm sorry, man. When I saw that Zoroark of all Pokemon got a fucking Mega Evolution, was potentially getting one, I actually got upset. I was like, there's no way Zoroark did... Like, some of these... Like, felt... Ooh! Oh! I'm so good at the game. Zoroark, cool. What do you mean? No, man. I did not want to... There's, like, a certain Pokemon... I did... Like, Greninja did not deserve it one. I'm sorry. Greninja, that fraud did not deserve one. That's what I'm saying. Over Flygon, that's what I'm saying. No, Starmie deserved the Mega. Starmie deserved the Mega. No. But Flygon should have got it. Raichu does not need a... No. Raichu does not need a fucking Mega Evolution. And 2 at that. Malamar did not need one. Oh, you know what? I'll say this. Malamar Gen 6, fair enough. I just think more Gen 6 should have got more. I feel like they got less. Personally, if I'll be very honest. Oh, you know what? Yeah, come over here. Yeah. Come here. Yeah, I'm gonna beat that butt of yours. Come here. Dragola is cool, but no, Dragola was absolutely one of my favorites. Zoroark got a Mega. I thought he was from Alola though. Yeah, he's Gen 7. But I didn't think that fraud does not. He did not need one. I'm sorry. No one could have given to me otherwise that he needed. I see arrows. I need arrows so bad. Zoroark did not need it. He's gonna watch. He's gonna turn around and it's gonna piss me off. Shh. They don't see us. You serious? Thank God. Oh, my ass. Oh, we fucking killed each other. Are you serious? I would have like no. You know who? I'm just glad Flygon needs one. If we can go ahead and give some love to Marshadow. Marshadow needs a Mega. Holy shit, Marshadow getting a Mega Evolution, I would have lost it. That's how you get me. You add Marshadow, that's it. That's how you get me to buy a $70 game. Or $60, depending if you're buying Switch one or not. Grab all that. Oh, okay, we already got the stuff. Yeah, no, man, I'm sorry. Some of the Alola Pokemon, like, Raichu does not need to. I'm sorry, Raichu's so ugly. Raichu is too ugly to getting, like... And then, you know, like, can we just be honest, chat? Does anyone even like Greninja? Like, does anyone really like Greninja? Like, does Greninja really need to? I mean, like, yeah, no. Greninja is literally, it has two. He has Ash Greninja, and then on top of that, he also then does have Mega Greninja, dude. He doesn't need both, man. We've got people who haven't had a new form in decades, and this motherfucker's over here who's gotten like three evolutions, man. We got a favorite child over here, and it's starting to seep in bad. Let them come, chat. Because when I'm ready, I'm gonna shove this sword so far up his ass. Let's not do it like that. Like I said, no. Fuck off. Run, just run, Jin, go. We're running away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The mongrels paid me. Oh my gosh. Jin, we must run away. Yes, because we are samurai. We are the samurai. Oh wait, hold on, there's another way to get in. Oh, there's another way to get in? You've got to be fucking with me. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Greninja, I just feel like there's certain Pokemon. Zeraora, you know, we're gonna give some Pokemon like Starmie, you know, like I think like having, now I will say some certain people just have too many. Ooh, can I get those arrows, please? The moment I'm able to get those arrows, the moment I'll feel better. Please. Okay. Chat. Oh my god. Oh, can I get on the roof? Oh, it's fucking over. Date. 12/65, July 23rd. At 7:85. While on a convoy. You know what? No one will get the reference, and I'm glad that no one's gonna get the reference that I'm referring to. Come on. Yeah, come to daddy. Come to daddy, yep. And another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, one step from right here. Another one bites the dust. Dun, dun, dun. Another one go dun. Dun, dun, dun. Another one go dun. Yeah, you know, I would prefer, oh, if I get this chat, ooh, yeah. How many do I have to fight for it? As long as I can just not deal with any people with, like... I think we're good for the most part. Dude, I've been doing this mission for so long that it's already fucking morning time. For I was gonna say, Jin, you better fucking make it. You're not gonna find me. I have 2 left. Okay, I think I want to jump right over here. Oh, can't get uppies. Chat, we need uppies. Can't. Oh, they cooked it off, damn. Chat, they won't give Jin uppies. This is such a fucking pretty game, chat. don't see? Thank you. Glad that you don't. Yeah, motherfucker. Is that a chest? What if I go in? What if I get it? Alright, so you know what, chat? Alright, now as you guys are seeing me, like as I'm like actively enjoying the game, like I'm a freak, okay? What? What? You can't be serious, dude. Really? Really? You know what? No. Recover Shizumu banners. Okay, I know what I want to do. Oh, they hit a checkpoint for me? Oh, perfect. When do I have? 1. Perfect. Okay. This is such a cool game. So immersive. Oh, glory to Japan, man. Oh, man. First, I play the greatest psychological game of all time. Then I play one of my favorite, one of my favorite just games, just in period, Stellar Blade. And then right after that, they have dogs? Chat, tell me, do I get to kill the dogs? Chat, someone tell me, do I get to kill dogs in this game? If I do, this game's immediately a 10 out of 10. If I get to kill dogs, the game's a 10. Like, you can't get better than this. Oh. I can? That's perfect. Hey, man. Oh, doggy. Oh, doggy. Oh. Damn. So what do I change the banners for? Oh, here? Got 2 arrows. Okay. I can sneak out of the back. Fuck off. If I can kill, I kind of want to get up there. I can't. I don't think anything can want me. Is that? Zero, okay. That's so pretty. I think that's the last guy. If he is, I don't really care then. Nope, we've got a few more. Oh, you don't want to mess with me, buddy. Yeah, you keep doing that, you're done. Oh, let me kill a dog. Please get. Yes! Yes! This is the greatest game ever! Yes, this is the greatest game ever! Come here, motherfucker! Yeah! Where's the next one? Oh my god! Where's the next one? Come here! Dude. Little mutt, come here! Yes! Mmm! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we're playing with Peak. No. Now we're playing with Peak. Because I know most games, they're like scared to like... Okay. Alright, let's begin. I hate when I do the... Every damn time. Every damn time. Every damn time. Every time. Okay. I've got 4 left. Okay. Now I think I can just walk in. Bro, lock in? I'm trying, man. I'm having so much fun. I get to kill dogs. I get to kill dogs. I get to kill things. I'm in Japan. I'm so happy. I get to kill Mongols for free. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Let's go, motherfucker. Oh. Let me take your arrows. Yep. Ooh, more arrows. Perfect. More arrows. Perfect. Let's begin. Next. Who's next? I have everything I've ever wanted. My GPU? Are you serious? Say it's not true. The game was just too much for my GPU. I have to update my drivers, huh? I think I'm about to update my drivers, chat. Okay. And as soon as it was getting good. Okay. Well, chat, we've it seems as if the stars have spoken, and it seems as if that it is time for me to go. I was having so much fun. Oh, it's because my fucking drivers aren't updated. Okay. Well, chat. Oh my god. I love Ghost of Tsushima! I love Ghost of Tsushima. I love Stellar Blade. I love Silent Hill F. There's just look here. You know what? Chat. I dedicate this to Asia. 안녕하세요. 감사합니다. Konnichiwa. Sayonara. Ni hao. Sheshe. Thank you for making Peak games. Thank you for making games that have made me and changed me. Thank you for allowing me to play these games and allow me to live. Thank you for allowing me to experience your culture. I love gaming. I'm so glad I don't like basketball. I'm so glad that I didn't grow up playing 2K and Call of Duty, because I would have never experienced the beautiful world that it is supposed to be. I would have been a gun and ball lover, and I couldn't think I could deal with that. To think that I would have been one of them would have killed me. And now my community puts me on beautiful games like this. It makes me so happy. I don't have to play mid, guys. You guys accept me to playing Peak. It's so beautiful. I don't have to play ass. I don't have to play 2K. I don't have to play Call of Slop or Midfield 6 or Mid Legends or Mid Rent. I don't have to play League of Legends. I don't have to play these shitty games. I get to play games that make sense. And then when Where the Winds Me comes out, I get to experience my wuxia era. Oh my god, I'm gonna join a sect. My life won't ever be the same. Thank you, chat, for blessing me with games. Thank you. I don't have to play mid. I don't have to say there's no good games. I love my life. Thank you for making me weird. Thank you, world. Oh my god. Chat. What I'm getting at is that I'm grateful. I really am, for putting me on one of my favorite games that I just could not stop playing. I could not stop playing that game. That game was so good. That game was so good. That intro to just, oh my god, that was so much fun. Chat. This reminds me of me playing Stellar Blade, which is even better. Oh my gosh, chat. Thank you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you want to see my reactions to everything, I am putting this all up on VOD day 1. So as soon as this live goes off, it is going on my VODs channel, Hentrap VODs, or it's Hentrap Live. I don't remember the channel, but I will link it in my Discord below. Thank you, chat. Thank you for allowing me to play Peak games. I could cry. Thank you. It's gonna, yes. Tomorrow, you'll see me playing Ghost of Tsushima. Well, actually, I do also want to play Dispatch. I don't know yet. I might play one of the 3. One of the 2. I don't know yet. I don't know that. But with that, chat, hopefully you guys all have a great day, night. Thank you, everyone. I will start alerting everyone when I go live playing all games from now on. I've realized that maybe me not being as transparent as I thought I was has made you guys not really be able to join. So I'll be more transparent. So with that, chat, I'll see each and every you guys later. You guys stay safe. Goon hard. See you, ladies and gentlemen, later.